is Susan Duman, and I am a sophomore at the Bloomsburg campus of Commonwealth University. My major is political science with a concentration in pre-law. Today, I will be discussing mental health and its role in global issues. I chose this topic because I have always been very interested in mental well-being, and this topic has been stepping more into the limelight within the past couple of years. To start, what is mental health? This term has become more known within the past couple of years, but many might not know what the term actually means when people say mental health. The definition provided by the World Health Organization defines mental health as the state of mental well-being that enables people to cope with the stresses of life, realize their abilities, learn and work well, and contribute to their community. Mental disorders go hand in hand with mental health. Mental disorders are when an individual's behaviors, emotions, and cognition are interrupted. Mental disorders can either be genetic, meaning that they're passed down through someone's family, or they can be caused by a certain event occurring in a person's life. Some examples of mental disorders include anxiety, which causes excessive fear and worry within an individual; depression, which is a person experiencing a prolonged period of severe sadness; bipolar disorder, which is often associated with mood swings from euphoria to rage or depression; PTSD, also known as post-traumatic stress disorder, where a person experiences an event that leaves them with trauma and trauma-induced anxiety; schizophrenia, which is a disorder that causes people to see or hear things that aren't actually there; and then eating disorders, which are disrupted patterns of eating. And this is just a handful of disorders. There are a lot more that are less common that are out there, but this is the most general group that people might know. Next, we will discuss global effects from mental health. Mental health has not always been a prognosis for the issues that some people have been having for hundreds of years. Now that mental health is a less taboo topic, it has very easily become prominent in public health. Here are just a few statistics from the World Health Organization on mental health. 1 in 7 people will suffer from mental health disorders. In 2019, 280 million people were diagnosed with depression, 23 million of those people being minors under the age of 18. In 2021, 41 million people had experienced conduct dissocial disorder. Conduct dissocial disorder is a mental disorder that is primarily affecting teens and children. People with this disorder often exhibit violent and aggressive behavior towards other people and also in social settings. And then more than 270,000 people die by suicide every year. Now we will discuss how global issues affect and cause mental health issues. First, we have war. People who live in countries that are actively in war or are a part of an international conflict are often plagued with trauma and PTSD. We are seeing this happen currently with the Gaza Strip situation and also the Russia-Ukraine war. It is also very common for war veterans to come back with post-traumatic stress disorder and likely will live with it for the rest of their lives. Secondly, we have poverty. When an economic crisis occurs in a state, many citizens will struggle financially. Some may even lose their jobs, and this can cause a spiral of depression and hopelessness, and for some, this could be very fatal. And then lastly, we have social justice. Within all countries, there has been an active history and pattern of discrimination and prejudice. This can lead to minority groups experiencing depression and financial spirals. This can also end drastically. Some examples of a poverty situation could be the Great Depression that happened in America, and then also some stock market crashes. And then we also saw a lot of social justice activities occurring in 2021 in America that was causing a lot of mental health issues for young teens and minority groups. And the World Health Organization explicitly states that experiencing conflict, disaster, violence, abuse, or loss in a sense of isolation are strongly associated with suicidal behavior. So what are organizations doing? Many organizations have noticed this crisis and are fighting to address it. Here are some examples as to how. UNICEF is working on facilitating global mental health programs, finding solutions for young communities, and helping support countries that are working towards providing mental health services. Next, we have the World Health Organization. The members of the World Health Organization are currently implementing the Comprehensive Mental Health Action Plan 2013 to 2030. This is an extensive and ongoing plan that involves educating on mental health, reshaping public environments to feel like a more inclusive space for mental health and mental well-being, and providing better treatment programs for those who are struggling. Next, we have the United Nations and the World Health Organization working together. The UN and the World Health Organization have been calling to action for years on end. They continue to advocate for leaders and to be taking action on mental health crisis, and for countries to adapt to a more open environment when it comes to mental health and caring more for mental well-beings. To conclude, mental health and salvation of mental well-being has been an ongoing yet underground issue for years. It has taken decades for people to view mental health as a real crisis. We're really fortunate to live in a time that mental health is not taboo anymore, and it's a more accepted diagnosis for the things that people are struggling with. Despite society making improvements throughout the past century, there are still global issues occurring that continue to impact innocent people's mental health. This can be in an array of disorders, sometimes being more apparent than others. Though we've made a lot of progress, there is still a long ways to go. However, the United Nations and the organizations within it continue to work towards solutions every day. Thank you. And here's my works cited.